We have our best offer yet on poodlecfb.com right now onto the launch of CFB 26. If you use code LAUNCH with a capital L, you will get $50 off the annual plan. And if you're into the monthly plan, if you use code LAUNCH 2025 capital L, you will get $5 off the monthly plan. Guys, these discounts are recurring. So the beauty of this is if you lock yourself in now, you'll have it for the remainder of CFB 25 and CFB 26 and beyond that. So make sure to sign up right now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodleback, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about how EA changed the entirety of the offseason in CFB 26. And of course, guys, if you haven't already, check out poodlecfb.com. If you use code Dynasty with a capital D, you'll get $65 off the annual plan. And if you use code Dynasty 2025 with a capital D, you'll get $7 off the monthly plan. Make sure to check it out, guys. CFB 26 is literally like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks away. Lock yourself in now for the best deal of the year. This is a grandfather deal. So not only is it the best deal of the year, you'll have the best deal of the year every single month as it keeps recurring, or for the entirety of the year if you want to do that as well. And this will be for the entirety of your membership over on poodlecfb.com. All of our tools, spreadsheets, calculators, all of our content's coming day one. Our massive spreadsheet's going to be mostly ready day one. Our calculators, our tools, the guide will be coming shortly after that. Get in now for this great rate. Dominate your dynasty, get accused of cheating by your league mates. That's the goal of everything we do here, guys. But let's get into it. One of the first big changes, guys, is going to be the job offers and the coaching carousel. As you guys know, last year, or this year specifically, was very inconsistent. There was weeks where you get really bad job offers, or you'd be the coach of Georgia and you get offers from like Akron or Ball State, or you tried doing like the Georgia coordinator method and you'd be in a situation where, fine, you built your OP meta build coach, and I have all these comments like, okay, guy, okay, like, Poodle, I built the best coach, but I can't get on a team. I'm getting sent to like the G League, and that was a big problem we were having, like getting sent down to Pop Warner. You were not getting offers. So they actually noted in the deep dive, in the Dynasty deep dive, that this year they made a concerted effort to make sure you're getting accurate job offers that match what your coach build is, what your coach prestige is, and all of that. So I'm very excited for that. That should make these few weeks, bowl weeks 1 through 4, the natty, all that, it should be very exciting for a team that didn't make the playoffs, because before you'd get to that stage and you wouldn't be able to do much there. It was kind of like, oh, the job offers suck. They also added coaching packages, as we saw over on Twitter, that actually impact the cream of the crop and like the stuff you get over when you do get coordinators. It increases the job openings for coordinators, the kind of coordinators that are offered to you, so on and so forth. So, and hopefully they did assess and address the re-sign or coordinator glitch and a few other things that were there. So these weeks should be a little bit more interactive for people who are looking for jobs. I know in my league personally, there was a few guys who wanted to switch teams but wanted to do it the right way and like see what offers they got. And they were getting offered from like 1 and 2 star schools while they were controlling a 5-star school. And like, well, I don't want to go down that much, but I also don't want to handpick my team that feels kind of like cheesy. So I know that's going to play a big role. All you offline guys who want to do the storyline of like starting as a 1-star school, 0.5 star school, and work your way up to a 5. This is now doable with what they changed here. Another big change is going to be obviously like the player leaving screen and all the other screens. Why? Because you can now see on the player card some information, obviously. So we don't have the full game here, of course, but when you would go to like player leaving screen and stuff and you look on the right hand side, see these player cards on my head, all you would see was this. And get rid of my webcam here. You would see their abilities and their deal breakers. Now in CFB 26, there's a few more screens. As you saw in the deep dive, you can now see their stats for the year. You can see their dev trait and a few other things, which is super, super cool in my opinion. And what that means is, first, when you're trying to when players are leaving and you want to see who to like prioritize, I remember like I'd be looking at my roster and I'd be like Kyle Williams, 82 overall. Oh, maybe I don't need him. He's fine. Then I would look and he was like, oh, he's elite dev. But you have to keep doing this balancing act of going back to the roster, back and forth, back to the roster, back and forth. Sometimes, let's say you had like an 85 overall junior and he doesn't have a high ceiling. You're like, oh, maybe I don't need him. But then you check his season stats, which you can see on the player card, and you're like, wait a minute. His season stats say on the player card that he actually had a lot of snaps. He did a lot for me. And then you remember like, oh my God, like that was my 4th string cornerback. He was kind of a dog last year. And that's what I really like, because I know there was a lot of times where I let people leave and I look back at old streams or old photos and I was like, where'd that guy go? And then I realized that was him. That was the 83 overall junior I cut that I thought had no potential. So it is cool to see season stats. Also on the flip side, you see an 85 overall junior and you're like, maybe I should keep him. You look, his season stats say 0-0-0. He never touches the field. Okay, he doesn't even touch the field for me anyways. It's fine. You can see dev traits now. If they're elite, you keep them. If they're normal, it's like, oh, 87 overall junior, or 89 overall senior, but he's normal dev and he hasn't played for me. He's like a backup quarterback or something. He can go. Like, it's a good way to kind of do that, especially when trying to get those XP offseason bonuses as well. But one of the biggest changes is going to be the transfer portal. They completely revamped the transfer portal. A few things they did. First and foremost, let's take a look at what our transfer portal looks like. As you guys can see, no 5 stars, all 4 stars. All these, Zachariah Branch, pretty cool, but then Isaiah Bond too, but no 5 stars. You're not gonna get any. You didn't get a lot of game-breaking things. Like in Madden and free agency, you might see a Jair Alexander or Lamar Jackson. You'll see someone hit the free agency that's where it's like, if I can get my hands on that guy, oh my god, my entire team's different. The transfer portal in this league was never like that. This game, there was a few times where you get lucky and like you find a guy like a younger guy like an Isaiah Bond, or you found a guy like Zachariah Branch, or like you'd find like a freshman that was like a hidden in here somewhere who had a high ceiling, but you still have to build them. You never got a guy where it was like, oh my god, this guy changes my program. At least not multiple times. Occasionally I've seen like Arch Manning or Anthony Hill from Texas a few times, but they weren't even like, they weren't 99 overall, they weren't 95 overall. But in CFB 26, you're gonna see like big guys at the portal, and they showed it in the deep dive, like Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith, Arch Manning. You're going to see deal breakers changing constantly on teams who can't keep him. You're going to see that Alabama guy who has Ryan Williams have a really bad season, and in your league you're like, wow, I wish you would lose players. But now in CFB 26, you're going to see that guy have a bad season and Ryan Williams be like, this isn't the Alabama I signed up for. And that's real life. When a team like FSU wins like 2 or 3 games, and you had a lot of guys who went there because they thought they were going to make it deep in the playoffs, they were going to go to the NFL, they're like, I'm out now. You're going to see plenty of guys that do that. Like, it's happening in real life. So that's very realistic. And of course, there's also the matter of the fact of low schools. Big change here. If you're a 2-star school who secures a gem 3-star and he grows to a 90 overall by his junior year, he could change his dynamic deal breaker to an A+ on pro potential and be like, yeah, I gotta get out of Marshall or like Stanford. There's no pro potential here. I gotta leave. I want to go to one of the big brands like Georgia, or Alabama, LSU, and I'm gonna go to the NFL from there. And you're just gonna lose him. There's nothing you can do. You can't just bring your prestige up in like 5 minutes when you see he's leaving, or in one season. So that's a big change that's coming, and the transfer portal as a result is going to be so all over the place. You're going to see that guy crying because he lost his 5-star quarterback that he finally secured under Marshall or Ball State. You're going to see that guy's Alabama who took a trip or just was being trash, being trash in the game and just losing their best guys. It's going to be very scary, and it's going to make it like you're going to be on the edge of your seat a little bit, and I kind of like that. I think it adds to kind of the complexity and the fun variability of this game. Yeah, it's going to suck when you lose them, but it's going to be amazing when you get one. So that's a big deal here. It also means save some roster spots. Save some, don't recruit 35 guys. Save some spots for the transfer portal. You're going to want it. Look at some coaching packages, like Elite Recruiter stuff. Get your hours up. The quicker you can get that up, the quicker you can secure these guys. Because, yeah, it's one thing to secure a 5-star freshman who, like, yeah, okay, I have Elite Recruiter. I won those guys or whatever. It's one thing to do that. But when Ryan Williams hits the transfer portal, and he's a 99 overall wide receiver, all platinum, 95 speed, 90 speed, whatever he is, and you're like, that guy will literally take me over the top next year and win it. You're going to have the entire league of who's available for him fighting for him. Also, less guys getting locked out. In this year's game, you like right here, I'm locked out of like everything in the top 30. See that? This CFB 26 is not going to be like that. They made the transfer portal a little bit more open. Not so many guys locked out right away, as they mentioned in the deep dive. Very, very, very cool. And of course, what they also added, which is really cool to me, is some settings. So if you go into Dynasty Central, go to league settings, they added a lot of settings to change how the transfer portal functions. So let's say you're in a league that's a bunch of relaxed older guys. You play after you're done with your kids, your wife, whatever, and you had a busy day. You just want to hop in here and there and play. But you don't win a lot of games. You guys sim a lot. You can actually make it so the transfer portal is only a few players will leave your team, like 4 max. That way, if you go on a long vacation or work's busy and you miss a few games, you don't just lose Ryan Williams. You don't lose your whole team. And they took it a step further where you can make it even worse. Like your whole team could go if you do want to be a super like diehard league that just doesn't play around. And furthermore, if you're an older school generation, like 35, 45 plus, and you're like an old school college football fan and you hate the transfer portal, you hate NIL, they actually made it so you could turn the transfer portal basically off by adjusting everything to 0. Now no players will transfer. And you can play that old school football that you've been wanting, right? Super, super cool. A lot of quality of life changes. And then of course, another big one is going to be the fact that you can now manually progress players. So the transfer window or the training results window is very different. So before, when we got to the training result window, you were kind of just like waiting there. Like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Just waiting on it. Like, and then you get there and you'd be like, oh my God, I got my thing. Or 9 times out of 10, he upgraded. My quarterback upgraded health with all of his points. He had a Heisman season. My running back really didn't go to Platinum Shifty. He upgraded his hands. Caden Durham's now an elite wide receiver. He didn't upgrade his speed or his Platinum Shifty. What are we doing here? I hate this. So on and so forth. Another thing, before we go further, position changes. Now in position changes, like I mentioned, you can now see the abilities of players. So before, when you would do this, you'd be guessing, right? If I moved into run support, safety, or strong safety, you'd be guessing what happened. His abilities would re-roll, and you'd be guessing. No more. Abilities don't reroll anymore, and when you hover over a new position to move them to, above my head, like they showed in the deep dive, you can actually see where their ability is going to be moving to, so you can get an idea. It'll stop a lot of people from breaking players, but it'll also stop a lot of people from rerolling and taking advantage of that, so there's that. But the cool thing of the training, or the training results window now, is basically, since you can manually upgrade, you don't have to get there and be like, what happened? Now you can control it all. So when you go in here and you get into training results, you can manually, you get all your players get all these XP, all these bonuses, but you're not at the mercy of whatever random algorithm does in this game. They won't automatically upgrade the lowest stuff. So for instance, Harold Perkins, I would love for him to upgrade a few things, but the way he's currently constructed, he would have upgraded IQ with his offseason bonus and maybe his pass coverage. He's for me, the way I play him is going to be a pass rusher. So that's a waste that he would upgrade his pass coverage and IQ. But if I could build him, I could max out his pass rush, his run stop, and his quickness in the offseason and give him a new ability. So that's what's really cool to me. For instance, Caden Durham right now, as currently constructed, he does not have Platinum Shifty. But had I held, the training window happened. He didn't get Platinum Shifty. But had I been able to control his points, I would have given him Platinum Shifty and upgraded his elusiveness. So definitely cool. You can make some super crazy players. And as I keep saying in my videos, there's two sides to this coin. Some people are going to love this. There's going to be that guy in your league, or those few people in your league who really get this. They know how to build especially like the muck guys or cut guys who come from that world. They know how to maximize thresholds and stats and the exact abilities you need. The guys who kind of just mindlessly flail through the game, whatever. Oh, that's pretty cool ability. You're going to struggle a little bit. Better get on board. I'm gonna make a lot of videos about this. The best way to build certain players, best way to build archetypes, best abilities. Be on the lookout for those videos because they're gonna help you a lot to make sure that you're on path to build meta players. You can also just turn on auto upgrade depending on the penalty set for your league, but manually upgrading players is gonna be a huge thing. So like I said, before, I didn't care if I missed the entirety of the off season in some leagues. I really didn't. I could see my training results after the season ended. Transfer portal usually wasn't that good. Coaching carousel sucked. Now I want to be around for all three things. So if I miss out on Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith, or Dylan Stewart in the transfer portal, I'm gonna lose it, especially as a top team who had a chance. And training results, I want to sit there on training results week like it's Christmas and build all my players. Definitely super cool. I love what they did to the offseason. I think they actually made it great. They took what they had and they made it better, which is something that a great game does. They didn't override the whole thing and rewrite the entire system, and I love that. But guys, basically for the video. If you're new to the channel, first off, be on the lookout in the next week or so as CFP 26 starts to launch, or 2 weeks, whatever it is, and be on the lookout for any of my other early vids. Make sure to head over to poodlecfb.com and use code Dynasty for $65 off the annual plan, capital D, and use code Dynasty 2025, capital D, for $7 off the monthly plan. This is the best deal of the year, at least for the foreseeable future. Lock yourself in now, grandfather yourself in, and be prepared to dominate your leagues and get the best tips that you can find for Dynasty mode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.